Our next artist was profiled during our Visual Arts of South Asia Fest. She lives and works in Toronto, Canada. She has a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree, majoring in painting from Azad Art University from Tehran, Iran. She has also attended part-time classes in the Academy of Art in Toronto, Canada. A Toronto-based artist and art educator, she has been teaching art for some years throughout the Greater Toronto Area. She had several group shows with non-for-profit galleries in Toronto. One of her paintings had been recognized at Toronto Star newspaper, and a full page has been dedicated to her piece. Mona is an immigrant to Canada. Her paintings are a way to rediscover her culture from her native land. Mona's work is a celebration of motherhood and feminine of Middle East women. Please welcome Mona Bayati. Hey Mona,
Hello.
I'm so excited to chat with you about who you are as an artist and your journey and to see where you're going.
Thank you.
So
Me too.
awesome. Can you tell us where you're from and how you started your art journey?
So I was born and raised in Tehran, Iran, and then we moved to Canada about 18 years ago with my husband. Um, and I can trace back my art journey to all the way when I was 4 years old in my grandmother's house. She used to take care of me. And she bought me the first set of crayons and showed me how to mix the colors and make green and orange. And I thought it was magical. I still get the sense of magic with art whenever I do. So it started then with her.
Oh my gosh, that gave me goosebumps.
Yeah.
So, so I'm curious with that knowledge, like when you paint, do you um, family's big to me. So do you find that like your grandmother's with you in certain pieces or like um influences? Like where does that come from?
Well, she was a teacher all her life, and then she was principal, and but she was not an artist. But she was she was very inspired me because also their home they had this little garden, and she was all about textile and like rugs and and all these patterns. And definitely I feel like those being influenced by nature and by textile, and she used to sew and do knitting and everything, so it's all coming from her in. And uh, yeah, I kind of tear up thinking about it, but I
Oh,
honestly
you're making me emotional.
always feel like she's there. I actually
Oh,
have the ring that she passed it on to me,
oh my
always
God.
wearing it. So yeah.
Oh my God. Anna, wow. So it sounds like obviously one of your influences been your grandmother. I'm curious to know, for your art, has there been other artists that influenced you in the style that you create? Um, uh, Either like people that you got to work with or people that you enjoy looking at their art.
Well, sure. So I'm talking about childhood, but just to do a very brief. So my mother, at the age of 8 or 9, put me in a drawing class because she thought like I'm doing it all the time. I have to get trained. But the teacher at the time really like he used to do work on my art all the time, so I felt like I have no talent because whatever I do he has to fix it, and it's just like, so I stopped. Like briefly, if I wanted to say, I kind of stopped doing art altogether, and I said I have no talent, just stopped it. And it for many years till I went to college for architecture, and there I had an art teacher. He was not an art teacher; he was an artist who was teaching us how to do drawing because it was one of the courses. And he really influenced me because he finds something in me that I didn't know exist. And he kept pushing it by putting me in different situations, asking, putting challenges for me. So the start was there, but and I always loved Marc Chagall and his poetic kind of paintings, Rembrandt, um, and then one of my also my then I changed. I went to art university because of my teacher in the architecture school. Um, but the style that I'm doing, so fast forwarding, when we immigrant to Canada, I stopped art again, but many artists, but I can say that right now I'm enjoying looking at Julie Himmel's art pieces. She's actually a good friend of mine, and she does a lot of nature-based paintings. So she's one of the people that I really look at, and also Lauren Brand. She's from US, and we connected through Instagram. So these people.
As artists, we've all gone through the pandemic all together.
Yeah.
How have you stayed inspired to create during this time?
Uh, I don't want to say that was the best time for creating, but actually it was. I know it was the whole world was going through a lot of, it was a lot of pressure in many ways, but it was a blessing because there was nothing else to do. For me, it was an outlet to keep my sanity and faith and believe that things going to work out, and also because I used to go to a lot of nature walk because that was the only thing we could do, and it it was a lot of inspiration that all those walks got from nature, and it really helped me to develop a language that was very much mine. So it was very helpful and inspiring that way, and also connecting with a lot of community and artists through internet because that was the only way you could kind of connect with people. So that was really helpful too.
That's true. That's beautiful. Um, so, could you describe for us your creative process? If there's like a specific one or it changes, can you tell us about that?
It changed throughout the time, but right now, when I want to start, first of all, I try not to start on a new piece right away when I go to start doing art because I need that warm up, like work on something from before. And I start with color because I just love colors. And they just tell me, okay, today's yellow and purple. And they don't sometimes make sense. There are colors that I don't usually choose, but I put them on the canvas or board that I'm working on, and then sometimes right away things come up. I grab pompons, glitters, and just start working out. Sometimes I have to make different shades and working and playing, and then eventually things will start to come up.
Hmm.
But usually that's the process. That's how it goes.
I know this is a bit immature to ask, but do you have a favorite color?
In blue, I want to say blue, shades of
Hmm.
blue, but it's
Yeah,
very interesting because I use a lot of hot pink and yellow and not that much blue. But
right.
I think I like blue. I don't know. It's just keep changing.
That's awesome. So have you been able to, because you did mention like you've got friends that influence you with your art.
Yeah.
Um, for those that are not familiar with your work, have you been able to collaborate with other artists in terms of creating pieces? You've been able to do that in the past?
No, not that much. No, but it was a lot of conversation,
Nice.
and learning from them and their journey. Our journey is not easy. It's not like it's not something that the motivation and the process is not always there, and you kind of lose faith. But I found the collaboration is for me was more conversation that I had with people that already were ahead of me in this journey and would tell me like, if you do this, that's going to work. If you do keep going this way, it's going to work. So more of that.
Right. maybe all of your pieces have been exciting, but do you have a favorite thing that you've created so far?
Uh, I can't really say I have a favorite one. It's like you have 10 kids and say which one is your favorite. It's
Right.
very
Yeah, it's
difficult.
true.
But I can say that during the pandemic, I had a piece that that was my first mixed media painting, and that the reason was my son had a project beside me and was working something, the project that he had, and he had pompons and yarns, and I never used them in my work, and all of a sudden I kind of start putting them together on my own piece as I was sitting beside him. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. It gives me a feeling of textile, and I love these bright colors. And then it actually created a series of work. So that one piece that I started during the pandemic, as I was
Wow,
helping my son during the pandemic doing project, was just a click, and I really, really enjoyed. Like it's my, I can say it's one of my favorites. Yeah.
that's amazing. It sounds like because you were just open to like the creativity to flow through you that it allowed you to create more. Uh,
Yes.
you know, that's incredible. Uh, so we're heading back into normalcy. Things are opening up to full
Yeah.
capacity. Do you have like how are you prepping for the future um, of your art pieces, or do you have shows lined up or um, collaborations with other galleries? Any goals for the near future?
Sure. So, first of all, I want to keep, because going back to normal, that means going back to work, going back to more socializing. So, I'm trying to keep the working ethic of art keep going.
Right.
But I've been talking to some, the Gallery 1313 is very supportive, and other galleries, like kind of in communication with them. There are plans, but we'll see how it goes. It's
Awesome. Well, I know that we'll be excited to see where we could see your pieces in person.
yeah,
Um,
thank
so, Mona, just to finish off our conversation,
you.
uh, if you were to put your work in a capsule today, and someone were to dig it up 50 years from now, what would you want that individual to take away from your work?
That's such an interesting question. I love that. Um, well, my pieces of work are about celebration of life. So I hope if somebody opens it up in how like many years from now, they just find a joy that is it's inside, and it's not really dependent on the circumstances of outside work, and it's the joy that you can find in nature, you can find in family, the joy that is there doesn't matter of your circumstances outside. So I hope that's how they see it.